Wala na ho tayong intro-intro dito mga kababayan. Pasadahan na ho natin itong part 3. Itong Day 18 impeachment trial. Sa mga di po nakakaalam, 450 million na ho ang nagagastos dito sa wala kwenta-kwentang impeachment trial. Hanggang ngayon mga kababayan, fishing expedition pa rin po ang ginagawa nila. Pasadahan na ho natin ito mga kababayan. Pero bago lahat, isang like-subscribe. May malaking tulong na ho yan sa ating channel sa mga gusto maging member ng ating community. Yung join button nandyan lang ho sa baba. G. Yan.
Ginoong Ortonio, patuloy po kayong tetestigo sa ilalim ng parehong sinumpaan ninyo kaninang umaga. Naunawaan niyo po yan?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Nakakain na po kayo.
Hindi pa po.
Bakit di ka kumain?
Later na lang po.
May ganun. IF. Anyway, Attorney May, your witness. You may continue with your direct examination when you're ready.
Your Honor.
Likewise,
Sorry.
Yes, Attorney Christine, you want to say
Your
something?
Honor, please, yes. Just a quick manifestation, Your
Yes, Attorney May.
Honor. We note that the witness has been interpreting documents, Your Honor, which he did not participate in the drafting and preparation of. So, we don't dispute the contents of those documents, Your Honor. In fact, we can stipulate on the amounts. We already stipulated actually on the amounts, on the signature, Your Honor. So may we inquire if that's the line of questioning that the counsel would follow? Because if the questioning would refer to the amounts, to the number of days, etc., just to abbreviate the proceedings, we can stipulate on those, Your Honor.
I think in relation to her offer, counsel, which you will not, I'm sure, be willing to stipulate, counsel for the prosecution wants to establish that, as she stated in her offer, that the explanations for the expenses in relation to confidential funds, she used the word sham, that they were prepared before, they even requested for it, and that it's almost all the same, involving the same amounts, and consumed the entire amount, which I'm sure you're not willing to stipulate at this point, counsel.
We're not going to stipulate on that, Your Honor. But
Even if I were in your position, I won't.
yes, Your Honor. But just to put it on record, Your Honor, the witness already stated that he had no participation in the execution of certain documents like the PFP and the accomplishment reports. And yet, he has been questioned about those documents, including his interpretation thereof.
If I may-
Your Honor,
During
If I
the
may
lull,
just- Your Honor.
if I may, counsels, during the lull, some senator judges were also discussing and talking. I think most, if not all, Attorney May get the point that you have been trying to drive at in relation to the liquidation report, the PFP, with the exception of the disbursement voucher that Mr. Ortonio signed. That while he's aware of them, he had no part in its preparation. And indeed, you have been using this witness to read some of the contents of the documents, albeit the document should speak for itself, but we do get that point. Kindly proceed to the other purposes of your offer. I believe there are about 2 or 3 more that you have not yet established through this witness. Because insofar as that is concerned, I think the senator judges get the point that you're driving at. You want to prove through this witness in the documents, supposedly, that the items in the liquidation report are almost the same with some variations, that the amounts are almost the same, that the totals are the same with some variations as well, and that the plan was prepared on dates before they made the request. Even the 11-day period, I think, the court has already taken notice of that as well, even from the previous witness's testimony. So kindly proceed, counsel, and You don't have to skip that part, but kindly abbreviate that part and move on to your other offers that you wish to establish through this witness. Your witness, Ms. Attorney May.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon again, Mr. Ortonio.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Earlier, you admitted that in 2022, your request for confidential funds was for 250 million, correct?
Yes, for 250 million.
But eventually, the amount given was only 125 million, correct?
Yes.
And yet, in the 2022 accomplishment report, what is reported is that there was still 100% implementation of activities. Tama ho ba?
If we will be,
Your Honor, please. Your Honor, please.
I'm sorry, Counsel.
Can the witness be shown the document, Your Honor?
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor.
assisting counsels have been given continuing authority to so approach and show the witness the documents in order to confront the witness with the document.
sorry again, ma'am, the question, ma'am.
You reported in that accomplishment report for 2022, inulat nyo na 100% pa rin ang implementation ng projects. Tama ba?
Based on the utilization that was submitted and prepared, ma'am, it indicated 100% implementation.
Okay. Ibig sabihin, Mr. Ortonio, tama ba na there was full implementation of the project gamit ang kalahati ng budget na inyong hiningi? Tama ba?
Sorry again, ma'am.
There was still full implementation of the activities for half the budget that you requested.
Ma'am, if based on the document, ma'am, 100% for the 125, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Sige. Punta na tayo ngayon, Mr. Ortonio, sa replies to the AOM. Ngayon, sumagot ka, ikaw mismo sumagot sa AOM number 2023-211 dated September 14, 2023. Tama ba?
For September 14, 2023 and October 3,
2023. Tama. Okay. Pero, you will confirm na yung mga AOMs na yon addressed kay Respondent Vice President, attention kay Ms. Acosta at Ms. Villa del Rey. Tama ba?
That's correct, ma'am.
In short, hindi naka-address sa'yo ang mga AOMs na sinagot mo. Tama ba?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay. Noong hearing, noong November 25, 2024, sinabi mo na wala kang personal na kaalaman sa aktual na paggastos ng confidential funds ng OVP. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct, ma'am.
At sa pagkakaalam mo, alam din to ng Vice President. Tama ba?
Wait. Alam ng Vice President, ma'am, that I do not know of anything.
Or that you do not have any personal participation, as you claim, doon sa paggastos ng confidential funds.
Yes, ma'am.
Ngayon pa man, ikaw ang tinalaga ng Vice President na tumugon sa mga audit observation memoranda na bananggit mo. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. For audit observations, ma'am, it's usually either the Assistant Chief of Staff or the Chief of Staff who
Okay.
responds on behalf of the agency.
Okay. Regardless kung may kaalaman ang Chief of Staff at Assistant Chief of Staff, yan ang sinasabi mo.
As representative of the organization, ma'am.
Okay. Ngayon, ipapakita sa iyo ang mga sulat ng OVP sa COA na may petsang Oktubre 19, 2023, November 30, 2023, April 19, 2024, August 27, 2024. Ito ang mga naging tugon mo sa lahat ng audit observation memoranda ng Commission on Audit. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. Just note, ma'am, that for the 3 other documents, ma'am, I'm just one of the signatories.
Yes. Yes. But a signatory nonetheless. Yes. Okay. Ngayon, sa mga AOMs na inisyo ng COA sa liquidation ng OVP para sa lahat ng quarters na iyong sinagot, pinuna nito ang mga PFP na isinumite ng OVP dahil hindi nakasaad ang tiyak na confidential activity na paggagamitan ng confidential funds. Tama ba?
Based on the AOM, ma'am.
Yes. At sa inyo namang sulat to the COA, yung mga sulat na that you were confronted with, ipinagtanggol nyo itong PFP na ito. Tama ba?
Yes.
Sinabi nyo na, and I quote, there's no specific guideline on the details of confidential activities to be indicated.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Based on the annexes of the JC, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the joint circular. Now, Mr. Ortonio, may I invite you to Article 4.2 of the joint circular, which states, and I quote, all allocations of confidential funds and or intelligence funds shall be supported with a fiscal and financial plan indicating the proposed amount allocated for each program, activity, and project where disbursements pertaining to confidential expenses and intelligence expenses shall be based. End of quote.
Sorry, ma'am, what provision again, ma'am?
4.2.
4.2. Okay, ma'am. Yes.
At inaamin mo na, tulad ng pag-amin mo kanina, yung mga PFP na ito, na inyong sinumite, tanging ang isinasaad lamang ay yung mga umbrella programs, na good governance program and socio-economic delivery programs. Tama ba?
Based on the documents that was prepared, ma'am, it
Yes.
only indicated the umbrella programs.
Okay. Ngunit inamin nyo na rin nang ang dalawang ito ay mga pawang umbrella programs lamang at may kanya-kanyang individual programs sa ilalim nito. Tama ba?
Ma'am, for the programs, ma'am, that was indicated, I can say, ma'am, that there are specific programs based on the regular funding. But as to the activity...
That is not the question, Mr. Ortonio. Ang tinatanong ko lamang sa inyo, yung dalawang programs na to, yung umbrella programs nito, dahil sila ay umbrella programs lamang, meron tong mga particular programs under these umbrella programs. Correct?
Ma'am, if we are talking about the regular budget, ma'am, yes, there are specific activities under those programs.
And even, you would confirm, ikaw din ang nag-submit sa COA ng mga protective the intelligence operations reports. Tama ba?
Again, ma'am,
Protective intelligence operations reports or yung mga PIORs. Di ba?
as the I am the designated liaison officer for the confidential funds, ma'am. And yes, I submitted documents, ma'am, in a sealed envelope, ma'am.
Yes. When you say documents, those documents include the PIORs. Tama ba? Kasama doon. Sa sinabmit mo, yung mga PIORs. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am, in response as an attachment to the response to the AOM.
Thank you. In fact, and I would assume, binasa mo rin ito, mga PIORs na to, bago mo ito sinumite.
Unfortunately, ma'am, I was not able to read the reports, ma'am, because these are sealed already, ma'am. I submitted the documents only, ma'am, to the COA.
Okay. Tinanong mo rin ba, sinabi mo kanina, na nakikipag-coordinate ka kay La Chica, sa security officer at sa special disbursing officer. Tama ba?
Yes, I
Tinanong mo ba
coordinated.
sa kanila kung ano ang nilalaman ng PIORs na ito?
No, I did not anymore
You did not.
ask, ma'am.
Okay. Now, dun sa AOMs din na iyong sinagot, pinuna din ng Commission on Audit yung line item na medical and food aid. Tama ba?
Yes.
At sinabi ng COA sa kanilang audit observation memoranda ng line item na ito ay hindi allowable sa gastusin ng confidential funds sa ilalim ng joint circular. Tama ba?
Based on the AOM, ma'am,
Yes.
and we were able to send our reply to this issue or concern.
And you justified the inclusion of that line item. Pinagtanggol nyo, dun sa sagot nyo sa AOMs, pinagtanggol nyo yung pagsama ng line item na ito sa inyong accomplishment reports. Tama ba?
Yes, we were able to explain it through our reply.
Sinabi ninyo na pinapayagan ito sa ilalim ng 4.8.4 na sumasaklaw sa purchase or rental of supplies, materials, and equipment for confidential operations. Tama ba?
Yes.
And you will also confirm na itong pera, supposedly for the purchase of rentals of supplies, materials, and equipment for confidential operations, hindi kayo gumastos. Ibig sabihin, yung supposed supplies, materials, and equipment, hindi ang OVP ang bumili nito. Tama ba?
Based on the information that was provided to me by the security officer, payments were made directly to the informants or the agents.
And tama rin ko, kumpirmahin mo rin ba na wala kang nakita kahit anumang official receipt sa pagbili ng kahit alin dito sa mga tinutukoy na supplies na to. Unahin natin sa medicine. Wala kang nakitang kahit anong official receipt mula sa kahit alinmang drugstore, pharmacy, o supplier. Tama ba?
I was not able to see, ma'am, any ORs.
Yes. Okay. And you will also agree na sa pangkalahatan, ang pagbili ng gamot at pagkain ay ginagawa sa regular na proseso, pang-araw-araw. Ibig sabihin, bibili mula sa sources like drugstores, pharmacy, at ang bumibili naman ay i-issuehan ng karampatang official receipt. Tama ba?
Sorry, ma'am. The question, so this is in parang
Purchase.
the usual
Yes,
purchase.
the usual
Yes,
purchase.
if it's for the usual purchase, yes, bibili ka and then you are given a receipt.
At hindi mo na tinanong si Ms. Acosta at ang security officer na iyong nabanggit kung nasaan ang supposed official receipts bilang patunay na ito nga ay nabili, mga supplies na ito.
Ma'am, the explanation that was provided to me, ma'am, was that binigay po ang pera directly doon sa mga informants and agents, and the informants and agents na po yung bumili ng mga medical and food supplies. So, it's the acknowledgement receipt, which is the proof of the release of the funds to the informants or the agents.
In short, ang sinasabi mo, kahit si Ginang Acosta at ang Special Disbursing Officer, walang nahawakan kahit isa mang official receipt para sa supposed purchases na ito.
Ma'am, as
Yes.
to the exactness, ma'am, no, kung meron ba silang nahawakan na official receipt, that I cannot provide an answer po.
But at the end of the day, wala silang binigay sa'yo, pina-explain mo sila, pero wala pa rin silang binigay na official receipt. Kahit anong official receipt for any of these supposed purchases.
Wala po silang nabigay na official receipts, ma'am, but there were acknowledgement receipts, ma'am, that were provided.
You will also confirm na yung OVP, alinsunod sa mga proyekto nito, ginagawa naman ito na bumili ng mga medisina. Tama ba?
Yes, we do
Yes.
have our funding for
Yes.
purchase of supplies.
In fact, sa item 1, noong sulat dated August 22, 2022, humingi kayo ng 144.72 million in regular funds for the OVP's medical assistance program. Tama ba?
That's for legal assistance, ma'am, but that is
Okay.
for the regular activities of the office.
At nung binili niyo yon, in fact, dun sa letter ninyo dated August 22, 2022, may nilaki pa kayo na lingguhang accounting ng mga benepisyaryo ng halaga na inyong hinihingi. Tama ba?
For the projection, ma'am.
Yes, for the projection. Yung letter nyo din, noong September 19, 2021, kahit yun, may nakalakip na transmittal na the submitted computation and forecasting which says, and I quote, the submitted computation and forecasting the requirement for medical assistance. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. But again, ma'am, that is for the regular activities of the office, for the medical and burial program.
Okay. In short, Mr. Ortonio, maaari sana na ang OVP sa pamamagitan ng SDO ang bumili ng mga gamot at ibigay na lamang ito sa mga umano'y informants. Tama ba?
Your Honor, please.
Counsel?
Speculative, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just because the question is premised or couched as an if question doesn't mean it's automatically speculative. It only becomes speculative, Your Honor, if it requires the witness to make a conjecture without reference to any prior admitted facts, Your Honor.
Your
Here,
Honor,
if I may,
With the permission of counsels, I see your point, Attorney Christine, but Mr. Antonio, pwede din bang, hindi, may binigyan kayo ng medicine, di ba? Sa regular budget ng OVP.
Yes po, we do have our medical and burial program, Your
At
Honor.
yung binibigyan nyo ng medicine at burial program, cash yun.
What we do po at that time is that binibili po namin yung medicine sa partner pharmacies of the
Okay.
OVP, and then we release it to the clients who approach the office for medical assistance
In the form of medicine na.
in the form of medicine.
So I presume itong binibili nyo gamit yung regular budget, may resibo to.
Yes, sir.
Ang ginamit nyo na pang food and medicines sa confidential fund, binigay nyo diretso sa recipient, and presumably sabi ng recipient, bibili ko ng pagkain to, bibili ko
Yes.
ng gamot to.
Based on the information, Your Honor, provided by the security officer, that's how it was. Ganun yung procedure on how the medical and food aid
So
was.
walang resibo yan.
Based on the information I gathered, sir, no official receipts was provided.
Nakalagay ba sa acknowledgement receipt kung for food or for medicine yon, o kayo na lang yung nagtali na ito food, ito medicine?
Sir, unfortunately, sir, for the acknowledgement receipts, I was not able to see them personally, sir.
Not a single one?
No, sir. At that time, sir, I was not able to see any of the acknowledgement receipts.
One last question. Yung chairs, wala ring resibo yan?
Yung regarding for the chair, sir, based on the information also provided by the security officer, no receipt as well, sir, because the representation was that yun yung ipamimili nila for the tables and chairs.
So what you're saying is binigay din yung pera sa informant, quote-unquote, that's your wording, para bumili siya ang bibili ng chairs at yun yung bayad sa kanya, quote-unquote.
Yes, that's based on the information provided by the security officer.
Just one final question, Mr. Don. So literally, may informant, imbis na bigyan ng kung ano, binayaran ng cash para bilhin yung tables, yung chairs, yung food, yung medicine. Ganun.
Yes, sir, based on the information provided, sir.
By the security officer.
By the security
That's
officer.
kumbaga, yun yung kwento na binigay sa'yo.
That's based on the information that was provided by the
At
security.
hiwalay pa yon sa pinapamigay nyo na food and medical assistance sa regular budget ng OVP.
Yes, that's for the regular clients that yung public na mga clients that
When
we
you say
receive.
clients, not informants.
Yes, sir.
Clients.
That's correct, sir.
Parokyano, yung regular na nagpupunta o humihingi ng tulong o dumudulog sa OVP.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Your witness, counsel.
Okay.
I hope it gave you the opportunity to take some of the throat meds that some of the senator judges sent you. And I hope you can drink some warm water, counsel. You may continue, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor, in a bit I will be asking for time to take my salabat with me, Your Honor.
Yes, counsel, you may.
But in the meantime, Your Honor, I'll proceed
Please continue.
I'll proceed with my examination. Okay. Going back to the audit observation memoranda na kanina in-identify mo na galing sa COA. Dito sa audit observation memoranda na ito, particularly Prosecution's Exhibit P-I-12-A and P-I-12-B and P-I-12-E. Dito sa tatlong AOMs na to, flinag din ng Commission on Audit or pinuna din ng Commission on Audit yung payment of incentives or traveling sa mga accomplishment reports. Ayon sa COA, hindi rin ito allowable na gastusin ng confidential funds sa ilalim ng Joint Circular. Tama ba?
That's what the AOM indicated, and we were able to send a reply as well.
And in your reply, you said it is justified under 4.8.2 ng Joint Circular bilang rental of transport vehicle related to confidential activities. Tama ba?
That's correct.
Yung salitang incentives, you will admit and you will agree na hindi ito mag-a-appear sa Joint Circular. Ito ay sa inyong sariling piniling salita. Tama ba?
Sorry again.
The word incentive, hindi mo ito makikita sa Joint Circular. In fact, itong salita na to, kayo lang ang gumamit nito. Kumbaga, kayo ang pumili ng salitang ito na ilalagay sa accomplishment report.
Based on the JC, that's not included po.
Okay. And based on the JC, yung incentives, yung salitang incentives, hindi lumalabas sa kahit anumang enumeration ng item 4.8 ng mga allowable confidential expenses. Tama ba?
Based on the JC, no, it does not appear.
Ngayon, nang mapuna ito ng COA sa AOM for the third quarter of 2023, saka lamang naging transportation expenses ang mga halaga na supposedly naka-allot for the supposed incentives. Tama ba?
Based on the report that was shown to me earlier, yes, but again, I would not have any idea on the preparation of the utilization report.
Okay. In fact, sa sagot nyo sa AOM, you invoked 4.8.2, which refers to rental of transport vehicle. At sa inyo namang sagot, sa notice of suspension, ang in-invoke nyo naman, ginamit nyo ang salitang van rentals and tracking services, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And what is more, sa sagot nyo sa notice of suspension, you confirmed, and I quote, the OVP did not make any payment for incentives, correct?
Based
End
on
of
the
quote.
reply that we provided, yes, we confirmed.
Also, Mr. Antonio, you will confirm na in the course of your preparation, sa kurso ng pagpaprepare mo sa reply ng AOM na to, hanggang maging sa ngayon, wala kang nakita na kahit anong kontrata sa pagrenta ng sasakyan sa buong records ng OVP. Tama ba?
I do not have any document po.
Okay. Now, let's go to the certifications dated October 19, 2023, April 19, 2024, and August 27, 2024. which are prosecution's exhibit P-I-12-M, P-I-12-G, and P-I-12-K. Ikaw ang nagsumite ng mga certifications nito sa Commission on Audit kalakip ng inyong reply sa Audit Observation Memoranda.
Yes, this is part of the attachment to the replies.
At sinumitin nyo ito, sana bilang umano'y patunay ng surveillance activity. Dahil pare-parehong sinasabi ng mga nasabing certification na ito na walang untoward incident na nagawa o naganap sa implementation ng mga proyekto ng OVP at sa mga engagement mismo ng pangalawang Pangulo. Tama ba?
Yes po, that's correct.
In short, ginagamit nyo ang mga certification na ito bilang patunay na inyong opisina ay nagastos ng 125 million pesos. In short, ginagamit nyo ito bilang patunay na ang nagastos na 125 million ay nagresulta na walang untoward incident na nangyari dun sa mga supposed confidential project.
As provided po by the security officer, this is the document that we attach to the replies.
But you will confirm that hindi mandato ng you will confirm na mandato talaga ng VP SPG na panatilihin ang seguridad ng Vice Presidente. Tama ba?
That's part of the duties and responsibilities of the VP SPG.
Correct. And you will also confirm na beginning October 2022 and during the entire relevant period, the Vice President already had at least 470 protective security personnel or protective agents. Tama ba?
As to the exact number, ma'am, of the VP SPG personnel, I cannot comment, ma'am, but there's a unit that handles the security of the VP, which is the VP SPG.
Let me refresh your memory, Mr. Ortonio. We will be showing you your letter to the DBM dated October 11, 2022, which is Prosecution's Exhibit P-I-4-D.
Yes, ma'am.
Diyan sa letter na yan, humihingi kayo ng addition o ng augmentation para sa special duty allowance ng VP SPG dahil tumaas ang bilang ng security officers and security or protective agents ng Vice President. Tama ba?
Yes.
Sinabi mo rin dyan sa letter na yan na as of October 10, 2022, the total count per roster of troops is 473.
Yes, ma'am. I mentioned, ma'am, na...
Yes.
I
Thank you, Mr. Ortonio. I'm satisfied with your answer. You will also confirm na nung una, humigit kumulang 95 lamang ang security personnel ng OVP. Tama ba? Kaya nga kayo humingi ng augmentation for special duty allowance dahil biglang nag-increase ito by almost 4-folds. Tama?
Ma'am, I can only answer for the security deployment during the term of VP Sara, ma'am.
Correct. Hindi ba isinaad nyo rin dito sa letter na ito, in-explain nyo, kasama ang letter dated August 22, 2022. Dito in-explain nyo bakit kayo humihingi ng special duty allowance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sinabi nyo na from 95 tumaas nga ang bilang ng security
Yes, ma'am.
detail ng, ng
Yes, ma'am.
security officer or protective agent sa ilalim ng VP SPG. Ang ayon nga sa'yo, yung mandato ay protektahan at i-ensure ang seguridad ng Vice Presidente. Tama ba?
That's correct, ma'am.
Yes. Aaminin mo rin na yung security detail ng Vice Presidente, hindi ito mga karaniwang security guards. Ito ay miyembro ng AFP at PNP. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am.
In
That's correct.
fact, sinabi mo rin, sa same letter na yan, na 364 ng karagdagang or ng security detail ng Vice Presidente ay mga miyembro ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. At 140 naman ay miyembro ng Philippine National Police. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Sa inyong kaalaman, Mr. Ortonio, meron ba ang ibang pangalawang pangulo sa history ng Pilipinas na nagkaroon ng ganito karaming security detail?
Ma'am, I cannot
Objection.
comment on the... I cannot comment for the previous vice presidents, ma'am.
So you do not know. The answer is you do not know.
What I can say, ma'am, is I cannot comment, ma'am, because I have no personal knowledge.
You have no personal knowledge. That's correct. You will also confirm na yung special duty allowance na inyong hiningi, ito ay karagdagang allowance lamang para dito sa VP-SPG. Ibig sabihin, etong membro ng mga VP-SPG, kumukuha na ito ng, or tumatanggap na ng sweldo mula sa AFP, sa ilalim ng General Appropriations Act for the members of the AFP, at yung mga miyembro naman ng PNP, tumatanggap ng sahod mula sa PNP. Kung alam ninyo,
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Ortonio.
please.
Counsel?
I will have to object, Your Honor, because Council has not shown the relevance of the salaries of VP-SPG to the confidential funds. And in fact, there was no finding from the COA ICPAO regarding this matter.
Okay, on 2 points, Your Honor.
Kindly comment, Counsel.
First, Your Honor, the fact that this was not flagged by the COA does not preclude this honorable court from making a finding on whether it is irregular or not. Number 2, Your Honor, it's very relevant, Your Honor, because their primary justification for the confidential funds is for ensuring the security of the Vice President, which is already governed by the mandate of the VP-SPG. In short, Your Honor, they requested funds, additional funds, for an item that is already answered for
Quick
by
reply, Your Honor.
the mandate of the
Let her finish,
VP-SPG, and which is already paid for from a separate funding, Your Honor.
Quick
Yes,
reply, Your Honor.
Attorney Hussein?
The issue on the VP-SPG salary, Your Honor, being allegedly covered by the confidential funds is not among the allegations in the articles of impeachment. Neither was this matter alleged in the impeachment complaints. Number 2, the impeachment court only relies on the findings of the COA, Your Honor. That's the reason why the COA was placed on the witness stand and testify on its matters, Your Honor. With all due respect, the matter of determining whether the salaries were indeed covered by the confidential funds is a matter outside the powers of the impeachment court to determine, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may just reply, just to set the record straight, Your Honor, because the
Brief
prosecution
reply,
never...
Counsel, before the chair makes a ruling. Please continue.
Sorry. Your Honor, at no point and at no time did the prosecution say that the confidential funds were used to pay for the salary of the VP-SPG. What we are saying, Your Honor, is that the VP-SPG is already paid from a separate account, from a separate fund, salary for the purpose of affording or providing protection to the Vice President. Now, Your Honor, they requested for funds, additional funds to pay for the very same protection.
Your Honor, please.
That's already being
Counsel is testifying, Your Honor.
That's already being afforded by
Actually,
the VP-SPG.
counsels, please. Actually, Attorney May, you already were able to actually say what you want to say on the record based on your comments on the objection. I will have to sustain the objection of counsel for respondent. The salary of the VP SPG is irrelevant because the confidential funds cannot be used to pay for the salaries of for security, and if at all, to buy confidential information, if at all, which has also been shown to have been done. We see the point, Counsel, Attorney May, that the Vice President has 473 security personnel already, that, as you stated in your offer, should be doing the job that they're spending this confidential fund for. However, the witness has already answered that he may not be in a position to answer that question specifically. Continue with your point.
Thank you, Your
Move
Honor.
on, Attorney May.
Mr. Antonio, you will also confirm na sa inyong sulat na may petsang August 22, 2022, sinabi nyo na as early as July 1, 2022, 7 OVP satellite office na ang naitatag ng Office of the Vice President. Ito yung mga satellite offices sa Bacolod, Cebu, Dagupan, Davao, Surigao, Tacloban, at Zamboanga. Tama ba?
Yes, that's correct.
At nung bawat isa nito, sinabi ninyo, and I quote, are catering to an average of 100 to 150 clients per day. Tama ba?
Yes, that's correct.
You will also agree na walang naiulat na untoward incident sa rollout ng mga satellite offices na yon bago ang December 21, 2022. Tama ba?
In terms of the operations within the satellite office, no untoward incidents.
Okay. And you will confirm that during the rollout of the satellite offices, wala pang confidential funds ang Office of the Vice President. Tama ba?
During this time, ma'am.
Wala
During
pa.
this time.
Okay. And you will also confirm na beginning fourth quarter of 2023 up to the present, you continue to roll out satellite offices and projects under your umbrella programs, the Good Governance Program, the Socio-Economic Delivery Program. Tama ba?
Yes.
And up to this time, wala ding naiuulat na untoward incident sa mga rollout ng mga proyektong ito. Tama ba?
Yes.
Yes. Now, etong certification, which is prosecution's evidence, P-I-12-M, nakasulat dito na this, and I quote, this certification is being issued upon the request of the Office of the Vice President for whatever legal purpose it may serve. End of quote. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am,
Yes.
based on the document.
Based on the document. Kung gayon, hindi ito record na iniingatan sa karaniwang takbo ng gawain ng Office of the Vice President. In short, this is not a record kept in the ordinary business of the Office of the Vice President. Yes?
Yes, I would say so.
Yes. The certification was only produced upon request. Tama ba? Based on that
Ma'am,
document.
for this specific document, ma'am, I cannot say that it is upon request, ma'am. I cannot, based on my understanding,
Even
I
if
cannot
it's-
assume.
Even if even it is expressly stated in this document that this certification is being issued upon the request of the Office of the Vice President, hindi mo rin masasabi na issued to upon the request.
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, that's just a follow-up, Your Honor.
Witness will answer.
I cannot automatically assume, ma'am, na it is made because through a request, just merely because of a statement that indicates na based on a request.
Okay, so ibig sabihin mo, maaring nagkamali lang yung explicit statement
Your
na to.
Honor, please.
No.
Your Honor.
What's the basis of the
Misleading,
objection?
Your Honor. Maaaring nagkamali lang.
How is it misleading?
Or
Your Honor?
argumentative?
Argumentative.
Or argumentative, sustained.
Okay.
That's the witness answer, counsel. However unacceptable it may, or unacceptable it may be.
Also, in those 4 certifications that you were earlier confronted with, wala ring nakasulat na amount Wala ring nakasulat na pangalan na pinagbigyan ng confidential funds. Walang sinasabi kung saan ginastos basically yung confidential funds na pinapatunguhan dyan sa 4 na certifications na yan. Tama ba?
Based on the document, ma'am, no, it does not indicate.
Okay. Also, Mr. Ortonio, can you please refer to Exhibit P-I-12-M? This is the first certification. Do you see that?
Yes.
You will confirm na yung period na sakop ng certification na yan ay December 20 to December 31. Tama ba?
Based on the document, ma'am, yes, it indicates 20 to 31.
Pero ang mismong liquidation, kung saan nyo inilakip yung certification na yan, ang period na sakop ay December 21 hanggang December 31 lamang.
31.
Tama.
Yes, based on the documents that were submitted.
So in short, may 1 day na covered ng certification na hindi covered ng liquidation. Tama ba?
If you will base it, ma'am, based on my understanding, if you will base it on the liquidation report, merong isang araw.
Merong isang araw. Thank you. Your Honor, may I just have 1 minute, Your Honor, to
Please,
take a
counsel,
sip from
take your
my
salabat, counsel.
salabat ko.
You may also do the same, Mr. Ortonio.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. May I proceed, Your Honor? Okay, Mr. Ortonio, balikan natin yung sulat ninyo dated November 30, 2023. Which is Prosecution's Exhibit P-I-12-D. It's already there. It's already with you.
P dash
I-12-D.
Yes, ma'am.
Diyan sa same letter na yan, sinabi nyo, and I quote, the OVP identified, okay. Sa letter na yan, sinikap nyong ipaliwanag ang pangangailangan nyo for confidential funds. Sinabi ninyo, and I quote, the OVP identified the need for the conduct of surveillance activities to enable to craft narrowly targeted and responsive programs that would ensure peace and order and prevent criminal activities, particularly those of organized criminal groups and communist insurgents. End of quote. Ngunit, you will confirm sa parehong sulat ninyo dated August 22, 2022, inamin nyo na nga na noong July 1 pa lamang, bago pa humiling ang OVP ng confidential funds, natukoy na ng OVP, sorry, in that same letter, I'm referring to that same letter. In that same letter, inamin nyo na as early as July 1, 2022, bago pa humiling ang OVP ng confidential funds, natukoy na ng OVP ang mga programa at aktibidad na nakatuon sa poverty alleviation, magabanta sa kapayapaan at kaayusan, at pagsulong ng kaunlarang pang-ekonomiya. Tama ba?
Yes, that's indicated in the letter.
Dagdag nyo pa, bilang katwiran, I quote, "It was necessary to conduct surveillance activities to determine where best to implement its programs to maximize their impact and reach the isolated, underserved, and unserved areas. As such, in August 2022, the OVP submitted a request through the DBM for confidential fund budget for surveillance activities which are intended to support the mandate and operations of the OVP." End of quote. Tama ba?
Yes, that's correct, ma'am.
Subalit, yung sa balik tayo sa letter nyo dated August 22, 2022, which is Prosecution's Exhibit P-I-4-A, you will confirm na dun sa paliwanag nyo, sa paghingi nyo ng confidential funds, nowhere there, o wala kahit saan man dyan, lumalabas ang salitang surveillance. Tama ba?
Based on the letter that we submitted, ma'am, there's no indication of the word surveillance.
Dahil nga, ang purpose na sinabi ninyo ay, and I quote, "for in consideration of the safe implementation of the various projects and activities under the Good Governance Program and the conduct of official engagements and functional representation." Diyan sa same letter na yan, hindi rin sinabi na gagamitin ng confidential funds para sa identification of areas for program implementation. Tama ba?
It is not specifically stated, ma'am, in the letter, ma'am. Although in the letter, ma'am, there's already in consideration for the safe implementation of various projects and activities
Yes.
under the good governance.
Pero hindi sinabi dito na the confidential funds will specifically be used for identification of areas for program implementation.
Based on the letter request, ma'am, there's no specific explanation, ma'am.
And the explanation given was in fact for the safe implementation of OVP initiatives and confidence building.
Yes,
Tama ba?
based on the letter request, ma'am, that's the wordings that were indicated.
And also, if you will refer to the physical and financial plan that you subsequently submitted to the DBM, sinabi nyo pa, nilagay nyo, sinaad nyo sa physical target, number of identified areas with surveillance conducted and monitored. Hindi ba?
If we will base it in the document,
Yes.
ma'am, yes.
So in short, kahit hindi nakalagay ang bilang, meron ng mga identified areas. May mga lugar nang natukoy dun sa physical and financial plan. Tama ba?
Ma'am, I cannot directly answer, ma'am, if there were identified areas already when the PFP was crafted, ma'am.
Okay. So punta na lang tayo ngayon sa August 22, dun sa dating August 22, 2022 letter. Na inamin mo nga, na as early as July 1, 2022, meron ng 7 satellite office na naitalaga. Sa Bacolod, Cebu, Dagupan, Davao, Surigao, Tacloban, Zamboanga. Tama ba?
Yes, based on the letter that we submitted.
Okay. And in that same letter, naglaki pa kayo ng Annex A na parehong sulat ng aktual na benepisyaryo ng medical assistance linggo-linggo mula unang linggo ng July 22 hanggang sa mga sumusunod na panahon. Tama ba?
Yes, this is the projection that we submitted.
At nakalimbag din sa item 3 ng same letter na yan na 3 pang karagdagang satellite office. Ang augmentation ng libreng sakay, 3 OVP food truck, at Peace 911 sa Marawi. Tama ba?
Yes, that's indicated in item number 3 for the additional positions.
Okay, so even before the confidential funds were released or bago pa mailabas ang confidential funds, meron na kayong mga na-identify na paglalagyan ng mga satellite offices. Tama ba?
Yes, there were plans already
And pagro-rolloutan ng mga programa ng OVP.
for
Tama ba?
activities.
Diyan sa November 30, 2023 letter din ninyo, sinabi nyo, and I quote, "The OVP opened exploratory talks on the surveillance activities to be conducted and identified information agents to be engaged. The OVP built its information database and established a network of information agents. As such, when the requested confidential funds was released on December 13, 2022 through SARO BMB-C-22-001-2004, the OVP was able to finalize definitive agreements and obligations based on the plan." End of quote. Inilarawan ninyo sa sulat na yan ng exploratory talks, tama ba?
Yes, this is based on the information from our security officer.
Sinabi nyo rin, information agent na identified, kasama ng information database, network of information agents. Tama ba?
Yes, as provided by our security officer.
Okay. Again, wala ni isa man dito ang nabanggit sa August 2022 confidential fund request. Tama ba?
Based on the initial request, no information indicated.
At wala rin kahit alin man dito ang lumalabas sa PFP for 2022. Tama ba?
When you say, you mean, ma'am, yung...
These items, these words, information database, network information agents, identified agents, walang kahit anuman na lumalabas.
Yes, ma'am. Based on the document presented earlier, ma'am, no such wordings, ma'am.
Okay, hindi rin kayo nakilahok sa supposed exploratory talks na ito. Binatay nyo lamang ito sa kung anong inireport sa inyo. Tama ba?
I had no participation, ma'am, because on matters of security, ma'am, that is not my expertise, ma'am. So this is from our security officer.
Okay. In that same letter, as I've mentioned and as I've read, binanggit nyo rin finalized definitive agreements.
Yes.
Pero wala kayong ni isang isinabmit din na kahit isang definitive agreement. Kahit isa sa mga definitive agreements na inyong tinutukoy dito sa inyong November 30, 2023 letter. Tama ba?
Ma'am, when you pertain to definitive agreements, ma'am, you mean documented agreements, ma'am?
Yes. Kasi para maging definitive agreements, kailangan cast in stones. Ibig sabihin, nakasulat siya.
Ma'am, in terms of any documentation or documented agreements, ma'am, there were no documents that were provided, ma'am. And as to how our agreements were made on the ground, ma'am, again, I cannot provide any information.
You will confirm that from the time the SARO was released on December 13 to the drawdown of the check noong December 20, 2022, itong araw lamang ang naglapse. Ang posisyon ba ng inyong opisina sa loob ng 7 araw na iyon na finalize ninyo ang definitive agreements sa supposed nationwide network ng mga ahente na inyong bidanggit sa inyong letter?
Ma'am, as to how the agreements were finalized or made, ma'am, that I cannot provide an answer, ma'am, if those were done within the 7-day period.
Okay. In that same letter, for the first time, you also denied that the 2022 confidential funds were spent in just 11 days. And your explanation was, and I quote, "On December 20, 2022, a cash advance for confidential fund was drawn to facilitate payment." Please take note of these words. "For the obligations already incurred. Hence, the 125 million confidential funds were fully utilized for expenses planned, implemented, and paid during the 3-month period, meaning October to December 22, and not within mere 11 days, as what the audit observations may have suggested. End of quote. Nakalagay yan sa inyong sagot.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in terms of...
No, it's okay, Mr. Antonio. I'm satisfied with your answer.
Your Honor, please.
Yes, Counsel?
Can the witness be allowed to answer?
Your Honor, the witness already satisfied the
The
question.
question was
It's
answerable
already
by yes or
answered.
no. You will be afforded your chance, Attorney Christine, during your cross to make him explain that point.
So you
Proceed, Counsel.
mentioned earlier obligations, quote unquote, already incurred and expenses already paid. So ibig sabihin, ng already incurred ay nangako ng magbayad ang OVP bago pa mailabas ang pera. Tama ba?
Ma'am, I cannot specifically say, ma'am, because arrangements made on the ground, ma'am, I have no personal knowledge on it.
Pero ilumagda ka sa letter na yan, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. Again, ma'am, this information, ma'am, came from the information from our security officer.
So, ibig sabihin, sinulat mo lang mechanically eksaktong words na finid sa'yo ng kausap mo. Ganun ba? Na hindi mo naintindihan kung ano yung sinusulat. Tama
Ma'am,
ba?
First, ma'am, hindi po siya mechanically na sinulat ko lang po kung ano yung sinabi. Of course, ma'am, based on the information that was provided to me, ma'am, yun yung nilatag ko doon
Yun
sa
yung
letter,
nilatag mo.
ma'am, for the drafting of the letter.
Counsel, allow me. Kayo po ang gumawa ng sulat, Ginoong Ortonio, di ba? Pumirma kayo.
Yes.
Kayo
Yes, Your
gumawa?
Honor.
Kayo po ang gumawa ng sulat?
Yes, Your Honor.
Base sa nakuha niyo impormasyon kay Gina, kay Colonel Lachica, at iba pang opisyal. Ano pong ibig sabihin niyo dyan sa pahayag niyo yan? To facilitate payment for the obligations already incurred. Ibig sabihin, may utang na, babayaran na lang. Na-incur na yung expense, babayaran na lang.
Sir, based on what was shared to me, sir, hindi siya utang, no? But arrangements have been done on mga activities that will be done, and then the payment will be done once the money would be available already.
Mr. Ortonio, what do you mean by obligations already incurred? Anong ibig sabihin para sa inyo nung sinulat niyo yon? Obligations already incurred. Sa
Arrangements.
simpleng salita, bayarin.
Ano, sir, what I meant on this statement, sir, is that there are already arrangements that have been coordinated, sir, prior to the release of the funds.
When you say arrangements nga, may pinangako ng bayaran, hindi pa lang nababayaran. Bayarin. Obligations already incurred. May obligasyon na. May pangako na bayaran. Di ba yan?
Sir, hindi siya pangako, sir, na bayaran, but meron na siyang mga, how do I explain it, sir? Parang meron ng arrangement, sir, that will be done, and then yung payment, sir, will be once available na siya.
Sir, in the ordinary course of meaning, that's how you define obligations already incurred that you wrote?
Yes, sir. Based on how I understand the information, sir, that's how I indicated it in the letter.
That's his answer, Counsel. You may proceed.
Okay, but you
Diyan na
were,
muna ho natin tatapusin natin yung reaction video, mga kababayan. Abangan nyo ho ang last part na itong Day 18 impeachment trial. Maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta sa ating channel. God bless po sa ating lahat.